product of change. I brought the product and things, turning my L's into gains. Channel the pain, looking to better the days. Yeah, you were a product of fear in the man in the mirror. You can't get away from them things, and I am aware, fully prepared. The devil he speaks. Yeah, and this what he said. You gotta get paid. Do what you gotta do. Get to the bag. Stay at your 9 to 5. Get on the avenue. You ain't cut out for them things. Yeah, you are not good enough. You are the type that got people they shouldn't love. Anyone knowing you know that you phony. You never cut out for this. You should just give it up. Yeah, but that's how they want me to feel. I am the man of the skill, king of the hill, man of the year. Finally feel like I got it for real. Yeah, but all of them voices we got them. Lie to me, Hillary Rodham. I just came back from my kid in the bottom, and now I'm gonna bring it back all the way on them. Yeah, one time I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. My life, you better believe they're looking for me. One time I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. They're looking for me. Yeah, one time I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. My life, you better believe they're looking for me. One time I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. Looking for me. Yeah, I gotta go, and this how I go. I'm dying a legend, that's just so you know. Yeah, I'ma go get it. We just keep pushing the limit. I am like all the way with it, all the way living. Y'all are just bearing no witness. You can keep staring out windows and watch how I do it. They trying, they taking their pictures. Yeah, homie, that's all the way real. Work, but I feel like a meal. This is the deal. Dollars ain't matching the skill. I am the king of the hill, man of the year. Magic how I disappear. Level up, get out of here. Watch how I move and they taking a steal. But I do not fuck with you, making that clear. Yeah, finally all the way good. Wish that a motherfucker would. Best in the game is the new attitude. Maybe I'm not, but I'm better than you. Yeah, but all of them voices we got them. Lie to me, Hillary Rodham. I just came back from my kid in the bottom, and now I'm gonna bring it back all the way on them. Yeah, one time I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. My life, you better believe they're looking for me. One time I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. Looking for me. Yeah, one time I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. My life, you better believe they're looking for me. One time I'm going for mine. You put it on mine.
Welcome back to Chase the Dream, the podcast where we follow a unique group of poker players as they follow their unique journeys in poker. Each week, we'll check out with our recurring cast, hear about their latest victories and setbacks, witness firsthand the ups and downs of chasing a poker dream. Join us as we delve into the mind games, the life lessons, and the unwavering spirit of these dedicated players. I'm joined this week by 4 of my teammates. Coming to us from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois is Rob Gardner.
Did you just say Illinois? Did you really just say Illinois with an S? You're a teacher. You're an educator. I'm disappointed.
Illinois.
Okay, that's better. Y'all heard the S, right? I wasn't the only one.
I was. You're hearing things. From Cleveland, Ohio, Mika Richards. From the mean streets of Collierville, Tennessee, we have Sean Child. And from sunny Naples, Florida, we have Diana Shabatone. And I'm your host, Craig Savage, based here in Dallas, Texas. And I want to start this week by following up on something we talked about last week. Day has started her cash game journey this weekend. However, Day, I'm not sure you got the memo. Cash games. How did you end up going to play cash, instead getting suckered into playing a tournament?
Okay, so in my defense, I was definitely going to play cash, but I got there. So I'm in Naples, Florida. I'm driving 2.5 hours to Tampa to drop my daughter and her friend off at Busch Gardens. And then I'm heading over to the Silks Poker Room. I know you guys have heard of it. No? Silks? No? Okay. So Silks Poker Room. And my brother plays cash there all the time. Is always trying to get me to come and play cash there with him. So again, part of my wanting to play cash once a week, at least this year, I'm like, perfect. Gonna go there and play cash. It's one of those old dog tracks in Florida where you can go and go to the poker room. I get there at 12:55 and I'm riding an elevator up with a bunch of guys who are coming for the tournament. $100 bounty tournament starts in 5 minutes. There were no backpacks. There were no headphones. There were absolutely, no sunglasses. These were my people.
So,
And so how do I turn that down?
Did you start to salivate in anticipation?
A little bit. So I'm like, I can't turn this down. It's kind of meant to be. So I'm like, okay, I'll play cash after I bust the tournament. Then I'll play cash because I've got the whole day. The girls were going to be there till 8 p.m. Got the whole day. So I
How
never
did that
got
plan work out?
Turned out I won that tournament.
This is a crazy story.
Very nice score. It wasn't a big one. It was $100 bounty tournament. I won like a 1K.
Don't downplay this. You walked in there to play cash. You saw the marks. You got in the elevator and got these guys are the marks. They're the fish. You followed them to the tournament and you just win.
Yeah.
Nah, don't downplay it. Don't downplay it.
It was a nice way to start out 2025. My first live tournament. Very nice. But I didn't get to play cash.
The question is though, but no, you have we talked last week about your bankroll. You have your cash bankroll, your live MTT bankroll.
Yes.
Since you were going to play cash, where does this money go? Does it go into since it was a cash game session, into your cash game bankroll, or do you throw it with the MTT bankroll?
Come on, Craig, you know that answer. It's going into the MTT bankroll.
I know.
I know.
It's an addiction.
So maybe I'm missing a part here. You went with your brother, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you go with your brother. Did he play the tournament with you?
His room. Yes.
Oh, so this is like his place, right?
Yes.
Like he feels home there. So he wants you to play cash with him because he wants his sister to hang out with him. You go play a tournament. Did you pull him into the tournament with you?
I did.
Did he win? Did he come in second?
No, he busted. He did get one bounty.
Did you
bust?
He
was very happy. I did not bust him. We didn't get to play together. It was a little disappointing. But
burned brother's money. You burned your brother's money. Did he ever go back to the casino after that huge embarrassment?
He did. In fact, I've got a kind of a follow-up story here. I have a little sick brag, but then I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down after that. So my sick brag is the next day my brother's playing cash. He actually played cash that day too and ended up winning a few $100s. But the next day he's playing cash and he texts me and he's like, I'm talking to one of the dealers and they were so impressed by, your play. And they said you were flawless at the final table. And it was like, great, they did, great job. So impressed. And I was like, gosh, I wonder which dealer that was. So I'm sitting there thinking about, what dealer it is that would give me that kind of praise. And then I started laughing because I'm like, well, I don't know which dealer it is, but I know which dealer it isn't. And I did something, guys, I have never done at a live tournament before. At the beginning of the tournament, I mucked a chopped pot. It was so bad. And I was one of those people afterwards that was like, oh, wait, can I just get my cards back? It was embarrassing.
Was it a chopped pot where you played the board?
Yeah. No, we both had a 9. He had a bigger kicker.
Okay.
So he showed his cards first, but the kicker didn't play. He had a king, but there was an ace on the board and it was 2 pair. And I mucked I mucked the chop pot and immediately realized it. But it was done. And I was trying. I was trying.
No, as like, you had me the whole way.
I didn't though. I showed the 9 and then I mucked. It was so bad. It was so bad. I've never done that before.
It could be worse.
I've never done that before.
It could be worse. It could be one of those where you were both playing the board.
Yeah.
I actually think of it, Day, as a play to fit in with that no backpack crowd. You're just trying to be the ultimate noob at the table
trying to fit
by
in.
being
Yeah.
So
I like that.
end game strategy, you
I like
won,
that.
so obviously it contributed.
I like
Yeah.
that, Mika. Some three-dimensional chess, right?
I mean, I give you all credit for that. Speaking of which, Day, I'm curious for the listeners out there, how would you
Mhm.
define how people play bounty tournaments differently than regular MTTs? And that could look like actual GTO strategy. Are they following it? Or are there exploitative things that are happening out there that people can start to take advantage of?
Okay. My entire tournament strategy was exploitative. I mean, there was a guy at my table whose VPIP was 100, and isolating that guy, because he would give up, on the flop if he didn't hit something. Isolating that guy really wide, like everything that I did was exploitative. I think I used 5% GTO and 95% exploitative poker. These guys were just, I'm telling you, I don't think anyone had ever studied, like, ever.
Do you think that the style of play differentiated that the fact it was a bounty versus a regular MTT? Did you notice
Maybe,
anything
and that's
different?
kind of what Mika was saying. Yeah, I think, well, I don't know though, because you guys have played those $100 buy-ins at like those random card rooms, right? Like, no, Craig, Craig, you're missing
That's
out.
beneath
Really?
Craig. It's too low for him. He doesn't get out of bed for less than $400. So
Well, I will say I've never played $100. I don't think I've ever played $100 tournament, but like, yeah,
Live.
actually 200. Yeah.
Yeah, live.
It was one of those where the beginning of the tournament, everyone's going, 6, 7 ways to the flop and nobody's 3-betting. And it was fun. It was so much fun.
Well,
I
that's the
highly
most important
recommend
part.
it. Huh?
I know
Well, that's the
you
most important
say
part.
Yeah.
I know you say that you don't employ GTO at all, but you're definitely keeping your foundation of poker much closer to the theory and truth than probably
Yeah.
every other player in that $100 tournament, and it
Yes.
actually helps you capitalize on their mistakes, which is pretty cool.
Yes, because I can identify them really quickly.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I can adjust. Absolutely.
what's Gito?
Stands
sir,
for-
more English only at the table, please.
Yeah. I was going to say it stands for, game theory. Oh my God, I'm out of the tournament.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it, Sean. You need to add that to your T-shirt collection.
Indeed.
That would be a good T-shirt. I'm curious, Dave, because we talked in Vegas,
Yeah.
in a lovely Starbucks,
Yes, we did.
about some of the frustrations you had. You were just running absolute horrible dry runs of cards, everything else, but you were excited about the upcoming year. What did this do for you? How are you feeling about things now? You feel better? Are you more excited? Are you like more comfortable?
So interestingly enough, I had that talk with you, which was really helpful. You guys know when you've been at a series and you're like 0 for 4, 0 for 5. I had a horrible NAPT, a horrible WPT, and Rob was great, like just kind of talking me through my 0 for everything, in Vegas in November and December. And then I texted Craig because I needed someone else. I needed my people. And I'm like, Craig. So if you guys don't know, Craig's kind of like the psychologist / neuroscientist of the group. So Craig helped me set bankrolls and get 2025 up and going so that I could be excited, because I wanted to be excited and not start the year just thinking about how poorly NAPT and WPT went. And And I've had, God, it's 1 week in. I'm crushing online. I won my only, live tournament I played so far. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling
That's
really
awesome.
good. And I'm not planning on going back to Vegas anytime soon and playing in these big series. I think I'm going to stick it out and try to find the fish and start playing those series,
I think you're on to something. I think capitalizing on individuals' New Year's goals that is to play more poker might be the right play.
It might be the right play. Yeah, we talked a little bit about kind of compartmentalizing and breaking these things off into different places in the actual bankroll, but also kind of in our mind. And I think that those resets are really helpful. So good on you for that.
Very helpful. And having Rob and Craig to talk to, and everyone in poker, you need people, right? You need people that you can talk to who can kind of talk you off the edge a little bit and settle you back down. And so yeah, I'm very grateful.
Well, while Day was trying to get back into the cash game streets, stumbled into a tournament, Sean has been in the cash game streets in and around Biloxi, just south of Memphis. And he sent us a message recently about wanting to create a flow chart. And so what I think, and I might be wrong, I think that Sean's trying to create a bot to solve live cash games. So Sean, what is this flow chart idea?
Well, first off, you definitely don't want me creating anything computer based. As for the flowchart, I mean, I think maybe you guys think that what I was looking into a flowchart for was not actually why I was looking for stuff for a flowchart. I am creating a cash strategy, building one, and I am building it from 2 main sources, but then a couple of other ones as well. And because of the way that the 2 different main ones that I'm looking at, because of the way that those strategies are laid out, they don't just meld together real well. So in order to try and build this new strategy, I'm trying to kind of come up with little buckets to put the differing ideas in and then meld them into one, but it's too much information right now. It's like if I took all my notes and went into my theater room and just cleared it, it would take up the whole room, right? So I'm trying to compartmentalize that so that I can then turn it into a strategy that can be digested.
So when you're at the table, if we put a little glass window in your forehead we could just peer in.
No. That's dangerous. This is Sean we're talking about. The last thing I want to do is look into what's in that brain. Okay.
We're at the poker table, you're just nervous because of the card protector. Shut up, Craig.
I do. Well, look at the posters behind them. They're spooky.
That's awesome.
Those are my friends.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
When you're at the poker table, is that kind of how you think? Like you're in a hand, do you kind of have a flowchart systematic approach in your head? Are you doing a lot of if thens and kind of approaching it from that way, or do you have a feel side to it as well?
It's a little bit of both. Probably more feel than anything else, which is kind of partially the direction of the overall strategy that I'm trying to create. It compartmentalizes into buckets so that you can kind of get your internalized playbook down for any type of thing. And that allows you to just feel through the whole hand. Just feel through it. You've got some guidelines, and that's about it.
Out of curiosity, then, as a follow-up question, if it's so feel-based, what kind of drove the desire to go in kind of a flowchart way?
Well, again, I just needed to, I'm using a couple of different strategies to kind of create this new one. And the 2 strategies I'm looking at already are they're laid out completely different from each other. So let's say, for instance, it's not as simple as saying, okay, this strategy has you playing pocket aces from the button this way, and this one has it playing this way. They don't meld like that. The ones I'm looking at and the way that the thought process works. And then I'm trying to add in my own thing too. So I'm trying to kind of compartmentalize it. So it's like maybe 100 big blind deep, flop play, late position kind of has a little bucket. But then 200 big blind play has a different bucket. But sometimes they overlap. And that's why it's a big mess right now, which is also why I need some flowchart work going on so I can mix and match things and get it like it needs to be without having a room full of just random notes.
Sean,
Sean.
may I apply an analogy that I've been using recently and ask if this is what you mean by it?
Sure.
I'll take that as a yes. So in poker, there's so many different styles, and kind of like in fashion, you can try on different styles from different people, but not all of them look good on you, right? Like if
Right.
I put Craig's hat on me, I'd be like, oh God. So is
It's
this
a nice hat.
it's a great
I
hat.
like your hat, Craig.
Thanks.
Just
Greg is the
look
king
great
of
on
dad
me.
hats, if we're being honest.
So is this organization technique trying to develop your own style in poker that fits right for you?
Yes. Also,
Awesome.
it's just an extremely effective style too. So
The
'cause
hat or the flowchart?
both, actually,
Oh.
both.
I was wondering the same thing too. I was wondering if this is something you were doing that you would then like try to teach other people, or is this something you're doing for yourself as a way to like reduce a little bit of the cognitive load? I mean, you can correct me about this or not, but in my experience with you, sometimes you tend to overthink a little bit and kind of add some things and maybe I don't know, maybe I would be overwhelmed, I would think, if I were inside your brain because in my experience with you, your brain's constantly going like a million miles an hour. Do you think that having something like this will help you like slow that down and reduce that cognitive load and feel more comfortable? Is that what you're going for?
In a way. I mean, basically, I'm taking the poker bullshit out of the game and minimizing it so that I can then just basically dissect the players.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's right up your
I have-
alley.
yeah, I'm just
I have a
minimizing this strategy,
question.
basically.
Sean, have you used flowcharts in like other parts of your life or ever before, or is this like new to you?
Yeah, I've used them before. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole generalized if then statement type of thinking is definitely down my alley. So yeah, you know.
Okay.
Very cool.
Well, as Mika, as Day and Sean are hitting the live streets, you're back hitting the mean streets of the corporate world. How's it going working for the man again?
Does my silence say it all?
Oh,
No.
goodness gracious. Alarm clocks.
I just start
Oh, no.
crying my
Emails.
eyes out.
No.
Meetings, budgets.
No, it's good. It's really good. I feel like I've found a bit of a sense of purpose that's beyond myself. It's so interesting to compare who I am now working in corporate compared to who I was 3 years ago working in corporate. So that's like the most stark realization of how much I've changed because of poker that I'm like fascinated by. I will admit, starting in November and like having the holidays was really tough to like stay motivated throughout that time while everybody was on PTO and like what's my purpose, where am I going? So I felt a little stagnant, but now that the new year is back in place, like it's actually pretty exciting getting back into it. And now I'm to that point where I'm trying to re-implement poker back into my life, into my schedule.
That's very cool. How what's like the biggest thing you've learned from this process?
From
'Cause you-
being a professional poker player or from going back into the workforce?
From going from the workforce to be a professional poker player and then back to the workforce. Is there one thing
Uh,
that stands out that's like,
Probably two things. So previously, I was really passionate about working and my career, and that was everything. That defined who I was as an individual, and I didn't know who I was. When I went into poker, I had a really big ego, and I didn't know that going in. So there were a lot of things in my prior career that might have caused me to be, defensive, or thinking like if my intelligence was being questioned, I would feel attacked. But in
Mhm,
poker, that's literally what you're facing all day, every day.
mhm.
So going back into the corporate world, I'm just like very much in the, oh, wow, I didn't know that. I'd love to learn more. You're obviously really intelligent, because poker taught me you just don't know everything and there's no way to know it. And then the second thing, which is really funny, is there are times where I think, because I'm a pretty aggressive poker player, that some of that aggression comes out in meetings. Like, I've dropped the F-bomb a couple of times. I've like
Look
I
at that
hate
face. Would you
fantastic.
think that she drops F-bombs in meetings? I would not think
I would
that.
not have thought that 6 months ago, but having gotten to know her a little bit
Yeah.
better, I could totally see it.
is it this grandma sweater I'm wearing? But I was talking to somebody in an elevator, and I was like, yeah, is it a total shit show? And they're just like mouth dropped to the floor. I was like, gotta taper it back. I gotta remember who I'm with.
Oh my
Try
God.
going from the poker world into the classroom. I have to like
Oh,
be
God.
really
Oh,
careful.
Into the
about
Christian
yeah.
classroom.
Yeah, into
Oh,
a faith-based
no.
school. Faith-based school, yeah.
Wow.
I get a lot of latitude, but every once in a while I have to like really catch myself.
Do you just write it off as like, oh, psychological slip, and then you go into a lesson about that?
Probably, yeah. Just like yeah, like I planned it all along to set up the lesson for the day.
So now that you're back at work, and especially after the aggressive poker style that we all know that you play, in the workplace, do you find that people boss you around, or do you boss people around?
It's a pretty collaborative environment, and it's kind of like got this startup culture feel. So there's a lot of people just like kind of growing together. I applied for this role because in talking to the manager, he was more of a hands-off approach. And as you all know, I do like wearing the pants in conversations and just in general. So this just he gives me that freedom. So I wouldn't say I'm bossing people around. I wouldn't say I'm getting bossed around, but I'm definitely taking the lead on things that I think people are pretty surprised about me being interested or poking holes at things.
Have there been any, as you approach your job, is there any of that poker strategy that seeps into your decision making?
It's just everything feels easier now. After, and I know this isn't exactly the strategy that you're asking about, but when you manage yourself as a professional poker player and you find out who you are and how you tick, where your energy comes from, and then you apply it to something else, it just feels so much easier to just manage that, because not that it's not important, right? That what I'm doing, but now my livelihood's not on the line because I'm getting a paycheck. And obviously they could let me go. God forbid they don't. But in poker, every decision I made, my livelihood could have been on the line, and it just had all that weight, all that stress. And now it's not like that in the workforce and in the poker. So actually, I think working's easier now compared to where I thought it was. And poker's easier now that I have that stability through, income coming in on a consistent basis.
That was something I wanted to ask you about, because I didn't know this at the time when you first told us that you were taking this route. I was like, oh man, that sounds horrible. I can't imagine having to like go back into the workplace. And now here we are 3 months later. And I think you've probably played more volume than I have, Mika. I played my first online session in almost 3 months on Monday. And the only other tournament I played in that stretch was going to the WPT. And what's been interesting is while I've been working on these other things, I've had this odd piece about poker. Like it's not been like I was a little nervous going to WPT. I'm like, should I practice? Should I get some grinds in? And I kind of just made a decision a week before. I was like, you know what? I've played this game for 20 years. I've studied. I'm good. I'm just going to go in completely cold. And it worked fine. Like I didn't feel like I had taken any time off. I didn't feel anything. And I think to echo what you said, like I've found that getting the other things in order has made poker a lot easier. So it sounds like you're kind of experienced the same thing. Like this is actually an addition, not a subtraction in terms of your future. And I presume this means that you're pretty excited about 2025 and optimistic about where things are going.
Yeah, I am. And I think that, and beautifully said, Rob, and I think we should probably have a whole segment on talking about your psychology and why you're not playing, but we'll reserve that for the future. I'm very optimistic. I had a lot of guilt around not playing because, you know, it's natural. I've put in 2.5, 3 years, all of my time into honing my skill. And then I haven't thought about it in, you know, months. And I was terrified actually going back and playing. But then I was like, it's not that scary anymore. And then you know, you play a couple hands and you're like, oh, you're bad. You're bad. You're not good. So even if
why were
I
you pointing at me when you said that, by the way? You were like pointing up, like that guy up there. Yeah.
So yeah, agree wholeheartedly, Rob. And I think 2025 is going to be my best poker year yet.
I think so too.
Do you when you started, do you feel rusty? I feel rusty if I go stretches without playing.
I do feel a little rusty. Like I definitely tighten up. I don't see as much creativity, and I go kind of back to my fundamentals. But I've been actually, that's a lie. I was gonna say I've been coaching people, so I, you know, in those coaching sessions, I, you know, re-implement and train and study. But I bailed on them once because of the Christmas, so I haven't coached really much in the last month. So yeah, I do kind of feel rusty.
I've been coaching more than playing.
Yeah,
I just haven't been able to fit in sessions, so it helps to keep the rust off, though, for me, for sure. If I have to keep my brain in that space, if I get away from it for too long, I come back and I'm like, I don't remember how to do this.
Yeah,
or
and
I
you
worry
get to
that I'm
test
not
your hypotheses in coaching sessions. You could be like,
Yep.
this is what I think it's gonna tell us to do. Let's check it.
Right.
And then it's like a re-implementation. Like you still know it, a confidence boost.
Sometimes until you find out we got that one completely wrong, but well done there, coach. Well done there, coach. So Day failed at getting back into cash games because she went into a tournament, but she won. Sean is building his personal strategy that allows him to win in his cash games. Mika has found life satisfaction going back to work, which is making her feel better about her pro game. Rob, what are you doing? Are you actually going to? I heard that as everyone is venturing out, that you may actually be leaving your man cave, getting off the online grind, which you haven't been doing, but you've been in your space, and you're going to go out and spend time with real, live human beings.
Look, I'm not. I love live poker. I absolutely love live poker. It just is not. It's not in my area, and I think prior to this year, I've made a very strategic mistake in that I've tried to really just cram live poker into one trip. You know, I've taken over the last 4 or 5 years a lot of 4, 5, 6, 8 week trips, and I'm a very much like get in the grind, locked in. Like when I have a singular focus, I can work 16-hour days, 7 days a week, forever. Like I can really get into a rhythm. The problem is once it's done, it takes me forever to recover. Especially socially. It's really weird. Like if I go on a long 6 or 8 week poker trip, I come home and I don't want to interact with people online. I don't want to like friends call and I'm like silence. And like, I just, it just takes me a really long time to want to get back into that space. So I've kind of been in this weird spot where it's like, I want to go play. I don't have a lot of things in my immediate area. So it's always at least a 3 to 16 hour drive. The places that I can go stay for free are the farthest ones from home. So there's always that give and take. And it's just made it hard. And so coming into this year, I've kind of like tried to flip the script where I'm going to try to travel a little bit more, try to get out at least once a month, but keep my trip short, 3 days, 5 days, maybe I fly instead of drive, and see if that has a much faster recovery time, keeps me more in a more consistent rhythm. I've also been doing some other things on the side we'll talk about next week to make sure that those trips are a little bit more lucrative and beneficial and not necessarily like I have to do well in poker or the trip's a waste type thing. But I love live poker, and Rec Poker has an annual event they run once a year. Usually it's in the winter, but they didn't work out with the scheduling there. Up and Running Aces. And for those that don't know, Rec Poker started in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area. And so while they have members in all over the world, really, they have members in Europe, Canada, South America, everywhere. The biggest and closest group of people is in the Minneapolis area. So they have an event every year. They do some private tournaments, some meetup cash games. And so, I'm going up there. I'm going to play a couple of the Diana tournaments, some $150, $200 tournaments. They have Spread Limit, which is a really interesting game where you can only bet up to $100 on each street. Good luck trying to bluff the river. And it'll be a good time. I actually tried to get out twice this month, but it just didn't work out schedule wise. So that's going to be my trip for January. And then I'm already starting to look into trips for February. So I'm getting out.
Yeah, you have mentioned from time to time that sometimes your social emotional tank gets a little bit shallow. And I think it's really smart to kind of restructure that and more frequent but shorter trips. I think it's just healthier in general for you. And being away from family and stuff. That for me, when I get home from family, that's my recharge.
My family will get mad at me for this, but my wife understands. Like the dogs, like my dogs now. My oldest dog is turning 7 this year, which is still youngish, but there's this weird feeling of like they're getting older. There's less time. I don't want to be gone half the year, and the kids are largely out of the house doing their own thing. I don't see too much of them nowadays anyway, but so I think we'll see how it goes. But I'm encouraged and optimistic that that'll be a better kind of go-to for me.
Have you been out to Running Aces before?
I've not. It's one of the casinos that's been on my list that I've wanted to visit for a while and just haven't had a it just hasn't worked out, I guess I would say. There's several places I haven't been down to Florida. I want to get down to Florida sometime, maybe a Sherpo. I haven't been out to Foxwoods or anything out in the Northeast. And Running Aces is one of those places I've always wanted to go, but haven't had the chance yet. So looking forward to that. Yeah.
Are you going mostly for the professional and social and the poker's the backdrop, or is it vice versa?
I mean, it's a hard question to answer because the technical correct answer is, I'm going for the interaction, the social stuff, some business opportunities. But the second I sit down at that table, I'm staring at the trophy, and that's the only thing that matters. I just can't shut that off. So maybe under pretense.
Okay, well, let's have it next week. When are you going out again? Exactly.
So I'm gonna leave a week or 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Okay. So end of this month, we're expecting a Running Aces trophy behind you in the pod.
I don't know if they do trophies for these, but maybe at least a winner's photo.
We got to get Jim to get some trophies.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. They might. I don't know. I didn't even know there were going to be tournaments until a couple of days ago. I thought it was mostly going to be cash games, but apparently they have 2 tournaments on Friday and 2 tournaments on Saturday. So we get 4 times 32 opportunities. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to fire 8 bullets apiece. I am though. This will be interesting because I'm going to try and do this on my own dime, and I've taken very, very few live trips on my own dime. So it'll be interesting to see how different that feels.
I mean, you're talking about these big long trips here and there, even if they are short duration. But for those of us who watched quite a bit of your Twitch channel last year in the spring, there was a place that was fairly close to you, as I recall, maybe about 90 minutes away. I think it was something like the poker barn and bait shop near you. And I remember a 3-toothed Billy Bob who had a hat exactly like Craig's, who stacked you a few times.
My hat.
Are you going to go back there and get a little bit of revenge?
Yeah, you're talking about the Central Illinois Charitable Games Poker, CICG for short. Which is, God, our country is so amazing. You know, I can walk to my local gas station and play slots. I can go to a Moose Lodge in one of 6 locations and play cash games on a Saturday for 12 hours, as long as it doesn't eclipse midnight or the buy-in does not eclipse $300. But, you know, online poker, oh, we can't have that. That would just ruin everything.
You got a lottery?
Yeah, I haven't. Huh?
Is there a lottery?
Oh yeah. Okay. Almost every
Okay.
state has a lottery. Yeah, we've got a lottery, and you can play the lottery online here now. They have online scratch offs. It's just whatever, you know how it is. Everybody's got to have their hands in it and the right money. But I get text. I'm on the guy that runs it has my phone number, because back, you know, when I was going more often, I got on a phone list. So I get texts like every other week where they're going to be, and every time I'm like, yeah, I should probably go back there at some point, and I just haven't had the time. I've
So
been
you're-
so deep in the other stuff I've been working on. It hasn't been on my list.
So what you're saying is you are scared shitless of the 3-toothed Billy Bob with a Craig hat.
No, I honestly, like, the funny thing is, like, now that, again, getting some of the other things a little bit more in order kind of has alleviated a lot of bankroll stress. And that's not to say that I have some massive bankroll now, but my ability to recharge my bankroll is a lot better than it's been in the past. And so I'm actually kind of looking forward to being in a situation where I can play cash without a big bear on my back going, don't mess up, you know? Because I've played under pressure the vast majority of my career. And again, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm just running in it so I can just dump a bunch of buy-ins at the table. It's no big deal. But I have a little bit more breathing room. So it'll be interesting to see, like, with the spread limit game, you know, it'll be interesting to see like what my vibe is, and if I just start finding different lines that I didn't even consider before, now that, you know, I can take a few more risks.
Rob, I'm really curious. What gave you a little bit of this breathing room without, you know, going too deep into it?
I've taken on some other projects on the side. I mean, it's a whole bunch of different things. Every fall, I dabble in daily fantasy sports, which is kind of like the sports version of poker. And it's been a little bit of a side income thing along the way, but I got a little bit smarter with it this year and picked up on a few more things. And so it's been a little bit more lucrative than it's been in the past.
Hell yeah.
I picked up some non-poker contract work on the side, nothing exorbitant, but picked up a few side gigs just to bring in a little bit of additional money. And then we got our cars paid off, which was kind of a huge thing. Like, both of us had bought new cars about 4 years ago, and within 2 months of each other, we got those completely knocked off. And so there's just been a kind of like, I don't know, a couple small things that have all kind of aligned, and that's helped. It's helped me build and cushion the bankroll a bit. And now I'm kind of in a place where, like, I can play poker. You know, like, I played poker Monday night, but it's like I don't have to make the same amount of money in poker every month to survive. And oddly enough, that just, like, even like Monday night, it was like making deep runs, and there wasn't this like, oh man, you know, if I can win this, it'll buy me an extra 2 weeks or whatever. Like, it was just like, it'd be cool if we got a nice score. We had a good day at 3 final tables. So
Congratulations. That, I know nobody deserves anything in poker, right? That should be like probably the poker life motto, is nobody deserves to win. But you do a lot for this community. You're always a really good listening ear for people. You build up communities and create really ecosystems for people to learn in a number of different capacities. So I'm really happy that things are starting to work out and seem a little easier for you. And I hope that's how 2025 and beyond goes for you.
I feel bad now, because honestly, I think a big part of what's allowed me to get there has been doing less of what you're talking about.
I knew you were going to
that's
say that.
good.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's been pulling back from some of that stuff and still finding creative ways to do it. But I I knew my poker career was going to end in one of two places. For a long time, I've known it's going to end in one of two places. A, I was just going to get out and decide that being in the poker world was just not the end game. Or B, I was just going to end up on an island just fully selling out on who I am, and just whoever wants to come along for the ride can come along for the ride. It's taken me a long time to get there because there's just been so many confidence things to navigate. And even now, with some of the things I'm working on that are like top secret, I'm still bumping into a lot of anxiety because even though I'm confident in what I'm working on and I'm confident that it's going to be a good thing, there's still that anxiety as I'm building. Oh, is this good enough? No, I got to go rework it. No, it's got to be better. And like getting that, just reworking through that, like it'll be fine. Like it's okay. And so I'm making a lot of strides because I'm finally starting to move in these directions. But I don't think I could have done that and done poker full time at the same time. I think it would have been too much. So getting away from the game has given me enough strength not to crush these things, but to survive them and overcome them and push through them and learn how to work through the struggle. So it's been very, very healthy.
Bad metaphor to hopefully help with your guilt. So if you're in agriculture, I apologize, but think of the farmer. If the farmer kept raking nonstop his field, he would never actually grow his vegetables. So same thing with you. You put in the work up front. Now you have to let it breathe on its own. And it's okay to pull back and trust that all the work you've done is going to pay off. So I get the guilt because that's kind of what I just shared with you, but your impact will last for sure.
For sure.
I appreciate that.
Definitely. And I didn't know Mika did metaphors like this. It's very nice, Mika. I'm loving the metaphors.
She should have been a school teacher.
I started working out, so I got all this like creativity and energy. Craig, it's like you've been telling us to do this all along.
There's something about that exercise that does it.
Something about it.
You guys are all out there doing things, and I am trying as well. Last week, I went and played some live poker tournaments. It did not go well. Jumped in the cash games, went fine, but I'm trying to get back this weekend to play live MTTs, but Mother Nature may have other plans. And Rob, as our resident weather guy, what are the chances of me getting out of Dallas and getting up to Oklahoma to play this weekend?
So the dilemma here is one and the same. It's always this with bad weather. Anytime the weather's bad, it is never a question of your driving skills. It's a question of the 55 people you're driving with.
I don't know about
their driving skills.
I'm from South Carolina. Snow? I mean, come on.
It may be Craig's driving skills.
It might be.
You're telling me you can't drive on 2 inches of snow?
I've never driven on 2 inches of snow. Are you kidding me? That's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's funny because my freshman year of junior college, we had nationals down in Dallas, and they got 3/4 of an inch of snow. And I don't know how long well, not only was the whole place shut down, but we're all from Illinois. My coach, we rented a van, and we're all from Central Illinois. And he's doing 65 down the highway, and people are screaming at the horn and flipping us off, driving 10 miles an hour. And we're like, the road, there wasn't even snow on the road. It was like on the grass, and it was so cold that the snow was just kind of blowing across the road. And people just could not, they were scared to death, which is always, I guess, better than them driving like 90, but like it was an unbelievable experience. So like, I think that, yeah, leaving tonight would probably be your best bet, and getting out there tonight if you're not comfortable driving on slick roads.
I was cheating a little bit. I am fairly comfortable relative to other people in our area and where I grew up, but it is a fairly novel experience. I actually kind of get kind of excited to go out and like, I don't mind leaving the house and going to the store and getting stuff anytime we forget. And it's a little bit of an adventure. I don't mind. I have put the car in the ditch before, but
I think the real question, Craig, is, are you going to be an Uber chicken and stay on property, or are you going to do the brave thing and go across the bridge and stay at your little sneaky motel that
definitely not staying on property. Okay. I don't have the comps like Day has. I can't go staying on property. Jay and Day can get the comps because
All right, what property? I can set you up.
I don't know. Choctaw Casino. It's the Yeah, Choctaw.
Are they
tribe, so-
Caesars? If they're Caesars, I can.
No, none of those.
What are they? Are they?
they're
independent,
their
right?
own
Because it's
independent-
Indian owned.
Yeah, the tribe owns it. So, and there are people who can get those comps and accumulate them, but I just don't gamble, so they don't really care about me. So.
Wait a minute. You said you don't gamble. I could have sworn I saw I think I have a text message from you with a picture of some
Yes,
buffaloes
yes.
and Dave.
I'm trying.
You have that.
I
Right?
remember
I'm
there were some
trying.
buffaloes. There were definitely
Yes.
buffaloes.
So
Hold him accountable.
I busted the tournament. The second flight wasn't starting for a couple hours. I'm walking around. It's not really time to jump into cash game and get my feet settled and like play. And when being with Jay in Vegas, I was like, Jay, okay, what am I supposed to even be looking for on these advantage slots? Like, show me at least the simplest one to understand. And he showed me on the Buffalo when this number is close to this. So I was going around, clicking on. I found one that was like in a pretty good spot at the 1 cent level. But so I chased it and I got the feature and I ended up losing money on the deal. So it's not fun. I'm not a gambler.
I don't think you're supposed to admit to advantage slots.
Oh no! Did I just break a rule? I didn't break like all.
No,
You
you're
I
fine.
don't know.
Card
They might be
counter.
coming. You might want to go to Choctaw
You're
today.
fine.
I have a listen, this is terrible. I have someone I know well who is very much an advantage slots player, and he is not allowed in Choctaw anymore.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's. But I don't even know what I'm doing. I just pushed the button, and Jay, of course, ridiculed me because I didn't do it right. Because when I did hit the feature, I didn't hit it for the right. I don't know. I would have just lost more money had I done it his way, but I would have set myself up for the potential having won a lot more money if I had won. So I don't understand it. It's just pushing buttons to me. I want to play against a person who might actually make a mistake. That's why I enjoy the card games.
Yeah.
But school's likely to get canceled for the next 2 days. So, part of me wants to maybe like get out of here tonight, drive up there and get ahead of it. But I think I might have to talk to Lori before I make that decision. She might want me around for a couple of days and then just wait for it to get a little less bad and go up on Saturday and just fire a couple bullets on Saturday.
Yeah, Memphis is going to get hit with that same storm, but it's not a snow or any other kind of apocalypse because Memphis is already Memphis and you're not getting any worse. So
there's nothing more apocalyptic than Memphis every day. Just add a little snow on top as like a frosting.
it just turns it into a white apocalypse. That's all.
Do they
A little cleaner.
the epic 45-minute drive from there to Tunica? Do they salt that road pretty well? Do they get it clean, or is it like low?
Oh hell no! No, it's an ice rink, man. It is the scariest thing that you will ever drive in your whole life because it's just a big sheet of ice the whole way.
I want to go back to Mika for a second. Now that you have this job, you said something about purpose, that the job is giving you something that I know that people struggle inside poker, like people who are poker professionals, like especially people like you who are very warm and giving and care about people. And
drop the F-bomb a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you don't like people. It's like
not mutually exclusive.
No, sometimes they just need it. You need a little bit of you just got to give them the right motivation. But poker players who do it for a living, we look at what you're doing for your livelihood, and it's hard to find purpose in the profession, right? You have to find it outside of it, I would think. And now you're inside of a job where your role in that job is giving you some sense of purpose. Do you think that that's going to make it easier to jump in and out? Like when you jump back, like when's the next time? Are you planning on playing any events coming up soon? Is your job flexible enough that you can take off and go to play a series? What's the deal there?
Well, thank you for saying I am such a great, wonderful, lovely person is how I interpret it.
In my experience, that is true.
And for that reason, I will give you a good visibility tip.
Okay.
When you're driving, just take off your hat. You could see
Okay. Well, I mean, you would think that I would get 1 week, Rob. Jay's not here this week, right? Venom's not here to give me shit. And so you bring in Mika
Greg,
just to pile on.
I've been meaning to talk to you because we've been
Mika.
talking about this idea of having products as a poker player, right?
Right.
And I thought like I could help you start dadsrshats.com. And we could just have a whole line of dad hats, all of your favorite soccer teams, some local Dallas stuff. I don't play with seniors, like just some funny, some serious. I think you could start a brand and you could like market it to all your 50 and older friends out there in the Dallas area, and let me know. We'll talk
There's
after this.
Nothing wrong with my hat. By the way, did you get my hat? Look, wait, I'm gonna zoom into the camera. Wait, where's my camera?
All right, bro. Look.
Read it.
See how this hat is like, it has shape and form. It doesn't mold to the shape of my head.
I had this hat custom made. It's got my name.
That's
on
worse.
It.
Wow. Wow.
Can we edit that out?
It says
got
Savage
real,
Poker.
real quick.
Yeah. Look at the back. Look at the back. Hold on. Look. Can you see that?
Does it
part?
say Craig? What does it say?
It says pause. It matches his tattoo.
Yeah, it matches my tattoo. It says pause.
Sean, do you have any hats like that are that shape? Like they're good for putting on your head or scooping dog poop in the backyard. Do you have any?
Probably. I mean, that was the thing that we got for swag from just about every network. So I've got like a hat for every network, but I don't know that they fit like that.
How did we get away from asking if Mika's job is flexible enough for her to get away and play a series? That's what I want to know.
She's
That's
good,
what
isn't
people
she?
want to know. People don't want to
She
know
is
about my
good.
hat.
She really is good. No, that was Mika set you up.
I know.
You know.
She's dodging the question. I don't understand why.
The hat is
to
funnier
be
than the
fair,
tail.
Craig, your hat was the first thing I saw when I was thinking about the analogy for style. So like, press fire to the max.
I'm gonna have to get some new hats. I'm gonna start wearing a cowboy hat.
I'm surprised you care about my opinion on my purpose now.
I care. I care deeply.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know exactly what my schedule will look like next week if you all tune in. I hope to share about something else in the poker world that's providing me purpose, which is the mentorship program.
I'm excited to hear about it.
There's a little purpose coming from poker still. So I'm really focused on that in the month of January. And then I'm really hoping in February I can create some more flexibility for poker tournaments and live games. More to come.
Day, any cash games on the horizon for you? aka tournaments?
No, I'm gonna play cash. I really am.
Can't wait to hear about it.
So we're talking about travel, right? Like, and you guys are talking about driving in the snow. And I had a light bulb moment where I'm like, I'm going to be driving in the snow tomorrow because I'm flying. I'm leaving 75-degree Naples, Florida, and I'm flying to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Don't do it.
I have to. My daughter needs to go back to college. And I'm going to be driving around in snow for the next few days. I don't have any issues with that, though.
Do you have experience?
Yeah.
You've lived all over, right?
Yeah. And I travel all the time, like different,
Did you grow up
in the winter?
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Naples here.
Oh, so you're a Florida girl.
I'm a Florida girl. Yeah.
You're not supposed to know how to drive in snow.
I can do anything.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's just the right mindset.
That's a fact. All right. Well, then I'm just going to drive up in the snow on Thursday. Just going to drive right through the blizzard.
But I can't play. Because the whole point of this trip is dropping my daughter off, getting her set up in her dorm room. And so when I get back from that trip next week during the pod, I may be broadcasting from the Guitar Hotel.
On location.
I may be on location next week. We will see. But it's a tournament. Location. It's a tournament, not cash.
It's fine. It's fine. Tournaments are fun.
Yeah.
Cash is where you're going to make your millions, though.
I'm still going to get there.
That's where you're going to make your millions.
Sean, is it millions?
What's that?
Is it millions that you're making?
I'm not playing tournaments right now. So
no, I said that's cash is where you make your millions.
In cash.
Yeah.
I am losing tons of money because this is a publicly, broadcast thing.
The IRS is tuned in.
Yeah, I'm
doing
horribly.
Sean. Good answer.
Horribly, terribly. I could
You can only write off losses to offset your wins, so it can only be so bad.
I don't know if I'll ever win. I'm certain I won't, actually. No use looking at me.
All right. Well, I can't wait till next week. I'm excited about the true kickoff of the show. We get to all talk about our year to come. It's been real. It's been fun. You guys will have to tell me if it's been real fun, but I think that's it for the week. Rob, anything else?
No, I think we'll see you guys all next week, 7:30 Eastern for the official launch. You guys
nice
soon?
hat, Craig.
Thanks, guys.
I am a product of change. I brought the product and things, turning my L's into gains, channel the pain, looking to better the days. Yeah, you are a product of fear and the man in the mirror. You can't get away from them things, and I am aware, fully prepared. The devil he speaks. Yeah, and this what he said. You gotta get paid. Do what you gotta do. Get to the bag. Say it tonight. If I get on the avenue, you ain't cut out for them bags. Yeah, you are not good enough. You are the type of got people that shouldn't love anyone knowing you know that you phony. You never cut out for this. You should just give it up. Yeah. But that's how they want me to feel. I am the man of the skill, king of the hill, man of the year. Finally feel like I got it for real, yeah. But all of them voices, we got them. Lie to me, Hillary Rodham. I just came back from my kid in the bottom, and now I'm gonna bring it back all the way on them, yeah. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. My life, you better believe they're looking for me. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. They're looking for me. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. On my life, you better believe they're looking for me. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. Looking for me. Yeah, I gotta go, and this how I go. I'm dying a legend, that's just so you know. Yeah, I'ma go get it. We just keep pushing the limit. I am like all the way with it, all the way living. Y'all are just bearing the witness. You can keep staring out windows and watch how I do it. They trying, they taking their pictures. Yeah. Homie, that's all the way real. Work, but I feel like a meal. This is the deal. Dollars ain't next in the skill. I am the king of the hill, man of the year. Magic how I disappear. Level up, get out of here. Watch how I'm moving, they taking a steal. But I do not fuck with you, making that clear. Yeah. Finally all the way good. Wish that a motherfucker would. Best in the game is a new attitude. Maybe I'm not, but I'm better than you. Yeah. But all of them voices, we got them. Lie to me, Hillary Rodham. I just came back from my kid in the bottom, and now I'm gonna bring it back all the way on them. Yeah. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. On my life, you better believe they're looking for me. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. They're looking for me. Yeah. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. On my life, you better believe they're looking for me. One time, I'm going for mine. You put it on mine. Looking for me. One time, yeah, I gotta go. This how it go. My life, yeah, I'm dying a legend. It's just so you know. One time, I gotta go. This how it go.